Hello everyone, this is Tony with Sky, and today we're going to cover how to create Visualforce pages in minutes instead of days. Now before we get started, I'm going to make a couple of assumptions. Number one, that you already have downloaded the SkyVisualEditor app on the AppExchange. And if you haven't done that, go download the app on the AppExchange so you can actually do this tutorial. Number two, that you've already created a Developer Studio login. If you haven't done that, go to SkyVisualEditor.com and sign up for a developer login. They're free. Sign up and then go ahead and log in, and you'll see the screen that we're on right now. Also, you can get in touch with the staff at Sky for what we call a quick start guide if you'd like a written version of what we're going to go through in today's video. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. What we're going to do is start with the base of a page layout inside of Salesforce, and then we're going to modify that in today's video. So go ahead and click Import and Page Layout. We're going to select the object that we'd like to work with. In this video, it's going to be the account object. It'll pull in all of the different layouts that you have inside of Salesforce. Go ahead and select the one that you'd like to modify. And what it's doing now is it's gathering all of the custom fields, custom relationships, any static resources you have inside of Salesforce, and it's making them available for our tool to utilize. So on the left-hand side of the screen, we have the component palette, which is where you drop icons, drop fields onto the canvas to make visual changes. On the right-hand side is the property window, where you can modify and toggle the different properties. And then the center of the screen is going to be the Visualforce page. So let's make a couple of quick changes to this Visualforce page. Select the account information page block section, and on the right-hand side, let's change the column property from 2 to 3. And then we're just going to drag over fields from one column to another. You can do this by just left-clicking and dragging it over from one side to the other. And as you can see, this is very quick, very easy to modify and make rapid changes without having to do any coding. So let's select the account information page block section again, and we'll change the colors for these two page block sections to black and to red. And this is just for some contrast, so you can see it pretty easy when we deploy the page. Next, let's go ahead and scroll to the bottom of the page. Now, if you have a lot of related lists or objects, chances are you have a lot of vertical scrolling inside of Salesforce. So if you want to compress the view so there's not as much scrolling and you have all the important information at the top, one way we can do this is by creating tabs near the top of the page. So I'm going to create 3 tabs and put the contact, opportunity, and case information in each tab so that it's only visible when I need it. So to do this, we'll scroll back up. Click the Component tab on the left-hand side. In the middle of the left-hand side, there's a section called Tab. There's a little icon called Tab. You can drop that onto the canvas, and it will have 3 tabs by default. So scroll back down, select the contact, and then drag it upward until it's inside of tab number 1. Do the same thing for the opportunity and the case. Now, as you can see, all of this is just going to be left-clicking and dragging and holding. There's not going to be any coding to get this done. This tool is designed to be used by anyone, whether it be a business user or whether it be an Apex and Visualforce power user. It doesn't really matter. This is here to speed up the development time for Visualforce pages. Now, let's give the first tab an appropriate name so that the user can understand what's inside of this. We'll call this Contact Object, just so we can see what that looks like. Now we also want to go in and change the ability to create contacts inline whenever you're creating an account so that you don't have to open up multiple pages. Well, right now the full name is an output-only field, and we need to make it input fields so we can do inline editing. So what you can do is right-click, remove this column, and we're going to right-click again and insert 2 columns because we want the first and the last name on this. So click the Object tab on the left-hand side, go to the relative object. In this case, that's the contact. Now, you notice there's a lot of fields that just popped up, and we want to drop the first name onto the first column and then last name onto the second column. Next, we'd like to go ahead and change the fact that this is just a single input field to multiple editable records at a single time. This is called bulk editing. So we can select the contact again, and on the right-hand side there's a bulk edit and delete. This basically means that if we wanted to make mass changes to contacts all at one time, we could do that as well. So inside of this, I'm going to change the paging to, we'll say 10. And if you notice here, we now have the bulk edit and bulk delete options available. So let's go ahead and deploy this into Salesforce and see what this looks like. Click the deploy button and select partial test and deploy. Now what it's going to do is it's going to create all of the Visualforce and the Apex code and actually deploy it into Salesforce like a standard Visualforce page. If you have not logged into Salesforce already, it will ask you to do so when you are opening the Visualforce page. So at this time, go ahead and log into Salesforce. I've already done that in a separate tab. And it'll give us the Visualforce page name and the Apex class name so that you can locate this page inside of Salesforce. Now if you notice, these are kind of default names with SkyVisualEditor _ and then the date timestamp. And you'll probably want to give these more appropriate names, so give it something that you can understand and find later on. But go ahead and click the Open button. And this will take you right into the Visualforce page inside of your Salesforce environment so you can actually type in data and see how this is going to interact and work. Make sure that all of your stuff functions. So at the top we have the black banner that we changed. We have the 3-column layout. And we have the 3 tabs, one of which we renamed to Contact Object. And tab number 2 has got the opportunity, and tab number 3 has got the case. Now I mentioned that we're able to do inline editing. And the way you can do this is click the Add button, and then it's going to have a line pop up, and you can create your new opportunity while you're creating the account. Go ahead and set the stage, the amount, and then the close date. And all of this is just the standard Salesforce functionality. And the same thing goes for the contacts, except now we have the ability to do bulk editing and bulk deleting on those as well. And if you scroll down, we also have the red banner. So this has been a very brief tutorial on how to create a Visualforce page inside of SkyVisualEditor in minutes instead of days or hours using Visualforce code. I hope this was helpful, and if you like what you see, please get in contact with the TerraSky staff and we'd be happy to assist you further. Thanks for watching.